is Xander Dinky. He believes that Mary Jane Parker is Spider-Man's true love, and that unlike Gwen Stacy, they were always meant to be. Will his pride allow him to dance to victory, or will he stumble trying to defend his argument? Meet Julio Lemus. Don't let the bat signal fool you. He says Gwen Stacy was Peter Parker's one and only true love. Will he barrel his way to victory, or will Xander's evidence prove too costly?
Well, troops, this is a tough one, even for your beloved Generalissimo. The time has come for us to find out who is the one true love of Peter Parker, or as you may know him, Spider-Man. Now, who could ever forget Gwen Stacy, a blonde bombshell who was Peter Parker's first love? They both shared a love for science and were on the verge of getting engaged until, well, tragedy struck. Now, Mary Jane Watson is much different, and not just because of her flaming red hair. When Gwen died, Mary Jane was always there for Peter, and their longtime friendship led to love, which, of course, led to their marriage. But was she just a rebound, or was it always meant to be? So I'll hand it over to my court and the Honorable Jace Hall.
All rise for the Honorable Jace Hall.
Please be seated. Welcome to the FanWars court. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce our illustrious celebrity panel. Sitting here to my left, we have Cara Santamaria. Sitting next to her, we have Sandeep Parikh. And Adrienne Curry. Thank you for being here and helping us with these very important matters. So please, state your case, sir.
I'm here to defend Gwen Stacy's case of being Spider-Man's true love and only love before, she tragically died, of course. And that's what I will be doing.
Well, let's hear it.
All right.
Yeah, tell them why.
So Gwen Stacy met Peter Parker in Empire State University, and she became attracted to him through his love of science, which they both had in common. She fell in love with Peter Parker. Peter Parker, not Spider-Man. Well, Gwen Stacy,
Are you nervous, sir? Are you nervous? We're stuttering over our words.
Yeah, they're too beautiful.
But
sorry.
you know you're getting your point across. Is that the primary point of your argument? Or?
No, there's additional facts.
Okay, let's hear it quickly.
Well, when she got captured by the Green Goblin and thrown off the bridge, Spider-Man, of course, would try to save his true love. But, he must have missed out on a physics class because Newton's first law of science says, first law of motion means what is in motion stays in motion. So when he shot his web at her, he stopped her, but didn't stop the kinetic energy to snap her neck, so which causes her to die. That affected Peter Parker a lot, and that's how he met Mary Jane and fell in love with her. If Gwen Stacy wouldn't have died, we all know they would be married, have little Spideys, and, be happy.
I think on that note, did you get most of your argument across?
Yeah, those are the main points.
Okay. Sir, please articulate your argument.
Your Honor, esteemed panel of the jury, Mary Jane Watson Parker, that's right, Parker. Peter Parker married Mary Jane. I would like to submit to the court Exhibit A, the front cover of The Amazing Spider-Man, the wedding photo of both Peter Parker marrying Mary Jane Watson Parker. That's what we are talking about today. Not his first love, but his true love. I submit to the court that Gwen Stacy was nothing more than a literary device used to propel Peter Parker and Spider-Man's character forward, preparing him for Mary Jane and for all of the amazing adventures of Spider-Man. I submit to the court Exhibit B, a comic series entitled Spider-Man Loves Mary Jane. I mean, really, is there a...
We're going to reduce down the sarcasm in this
apologize,
courtroom.
Your Honor.
Our celebrity jury panel does not need
Yes.
that abuse. They
Yes.
understand your points.
I do not believe there exists a comic book series called Gwen Stacy Loves Spider-Man or Spider-Man Loves Gwen Stacy. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Okay. Have you moved through your points, sir?
I believe that that
Yes or
should-
no would be wonderful.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. So I turn it over to our illustrious panel.
Julio, I have a question for you. Given that Stan Lee is all-knowing, why do you think he chose to kill off Gwen Stacy?
In my opinion, maybe he likes redheaded more. She was a blonde, she was beautiful. There's a difference, hairstyle, always.
So I have a question for Xander.
Yes.
You claim that she was his soulmate. How, sir, do you know that for a fact?
No matter what happened in the course of their relationship, which has spanned many years, they have always come back together. They have always resolved everything. Peter Parker asked her to marry him 3 times before she said yes. She was very cautious, wanting to make sure that she made the right decision. She was pursuing her career as an actress and model. And I mean, if you're Peter Parker, a lab geek, who doesn't want to marry a actress model?
Excuse me, we're not pandering to the celebrity jury panel who happens to be actresses models.
I
So
apologize.
We're going to temper that statement.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
I'm a scientist, so.
Do you think, in your estimation, if Gwen Stacy didn't die, who do you think Peter Parker would have ended up with?
I still believe that he would have ended up with Mary Jane because she was introduced as the nice Watson girl next door by Aunt May.
Wait, I have something to say about that.
She said, "Face it, Tiger."
May I interrupt?
Face
He
it, Tiger.
said
You
the
hit
girl
the
next
jackpot.
door. The girl next door isn't always the nice girl. There is a comic series where Gwen Stacy didn't die. It was called The House of M, where Gwen Stacy and Spider-Man did get married and have kids and live a happy life. Even when, what's her name? I forgot. The redhead. She.
Okay, we're going to watch the hand motions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I object.
Okay, sir, there are no objections in this court.
I still object.
Wow.
Okay, with that, we are going to move to our next phase, unless our celebrity jury panel has additional questions.
Your Honor, may I
Excellent.
make one more
Excuse
comment,
me.
please?
What?
This is not a court of what ifs. This is not a court of maybe it happened. This is a court of what is.
This
and Mary
is a
Jane
court
Watson
of
Parker
FanWars.
is the true
Sir,
love
you are not going to
of Peter
talk
Parker.
over the judge. The bailiff is 2 seconds from bouncing you out of here.
I apologize, Your Honor.
I am holding Thor's hammer. Do you understand? Do you see it?
Yes, yes. Your
Thunder and lightning. Thank you. Okay, so I'd ask the celebrity jury panel to head to the deliberation chambers.
I really want Julio to win because I really don't like Xander.
But Julio's arguments to me were weak, especially the Mary Jane turned Peter Parker down 3
Yes.
times to get married. That's what women do to ensure that you really want us.
He asked Mary Jane to marry him 3 times. That doesn't sound like a soulmate. Does it?
Mary
Do you
Jane-
think you weakened your case by?
No, I don't think so. Mary Jane had a lot going on. But she always was the best friend to Peter Parker, and I don't think that
Okay,
is.
you know what?
friend zone.
I'm not buying that.
But Gwen Stacy did love him for, being a scientist and before, she knew about
Their
Spider-Man.
love wasn't strong enough
That's a
to
tough one
save
for
her.
me
You're a
too, though. Like,
scientist.
yeah, the science love, it kind of turns me on.
You are essentially holding that Mary Jane is a rebound girlfriend and riddled with guilt. Peter Parker chose Mary Jane.
Yes.
Can't Peter Parker move on? Isn't that fine?
As you said, it's a date. Dates, can mean something, don't always mean something. By default, they got together. Because I know friend zone when I see it. And Peter Parker was friend zoned.
I don't know what to do.
Well,
We gotta make a decision.
we do.
As the jury returns from deliberations, will they side with the proud Xander and his choice of Mary Jane Parker, or Julio and his choice of Gwen Stacy? Let's hear what they finally decided.
In the matter of who was Spider-Man's greatest love, how does the celebrity jury find?
We've come to a decision,
Okay.
a difficult one. My opinion was in fact swayed by the ladies. And despite Xander being such a dick, just unlikable in many ways, we're gonna go with Mary Jane Watson Parker.
Excuse me. We're not dancing in the
How
courtroom.
much did you
so,
pay
in
them?
the FanWars courtroom, we find that in the matter of who was Spider-Man's greatest love, it is indeed Mary Jane. That is the final ruling. Thank you very much.
Stuff's happening. We're back here outside the courtroom with Julio Limas, who just took a tough loss. Talk to us about how things went there.
Well, before anything else, I want to say people are going to be out there saying, all hating on me, like
Haters, right? Anyone you want to give a shout out to while we're here?
Well, you know, I want to shout out to my friends, Erica, Luis Navarro, Joe Molina. And
Sure,
my
that's great.
family.
You know, I know you got to go talk to the cosplayers.
All right, yeah,
so hey,
all
all right, let's bring on our winner here, Xander Dinky. Am I right? Look at him, yeah, a little proud there. Hey, listen, Xander, I got to ask you this. I got to ask the tough questions. They called you a dick at the end. What was going through your head?
It kind of hurt my feelings
Sure.
a little, because, you know, I'm kind of a nice guy, but I won.
Bittersweet victory. Looks like everyone abandoned you there, Xander. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of FanWars.
But I
We'll catch
won.
you next time. You sure did.